Welcome to Meaningful Magical Math. A place value chart can be a magical tool when adding large numbers. It can also help us bring meaning to why we sometimes carry numbers from a smaller place value to a larger one when adding. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a place value chart to find the sum of two large numbers. So let's add 134,629 and 5,782. Now you don't have to use a fancy place value chart like the one I've cut and pasted here. You can just draw one on paper. But what you will need to do is represent your add-ins on the place value chart. And I'm going to start with our first add-in, 134,629, and represent it in dots on our place value chart. I'm going to begin with the ones place because we always begin with the ones place when we're thinking of adding. And so I'll add 9 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dots to represent my 9 in the ones place. I see a 2 in the tens place, so I will add 2 dots for the tens place in my number. I see 6 in the hundreds place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I'll represent it with 6 dots. And I see 4 in the thousands place, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I see a 3 in the 10,000s place, 1, 2, 3. And a 1 in the 100,000s place. So I have simply represented my number, 134,629, as dots in my place value chart. Now let's add to it our second add-in, 5,782. And again, I'm going to be in the practice of always starting with my ones place because that's how I'm going to add, is adding on the ones place. So let's add on a two dots for the 2 in my ones place in the second number. And then let's add 8 in the tens place, 8 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a 7 in the hundreds place, so 7 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a 5 in the thousands place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm ready to add together my two add-ins, my two numbers, 134,629 and 5,782. And I'm going to simply count up my dots in each place value. And where do I begin? I always begin in the ones place. So let's count them. I see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, as soon as I see that I have more than 10, I can take 10 out. 10 and form them together. There's 10. And create a group of 10 that can be turned into a 10. Those 10 ones equal 110. And this makes sense because we've brought 10 ones together as 110. And remember, our number system is based on 10. And so we have 10 ones equal 110. And I have remaining 1 in the ones place, and my 10 ones have turned into 110. Now let's gather up any numbers we have in the tens place, any dots. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10, and again, we're going to turn that into 100, and let's make a dot for it, representing that we've turned 10 tens into 100. And that makes sense because if I counted 10 tens, I would have 100. And I have one remaining 10 left over. I have 110 here that is not counted in my group of 10. And now I'm ready to go into the hundreds place. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's make sure I've counted that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that can turn into 1,000. 10 hundreds make 1,000. And I have 4 additional hundreds in my hundreds place. And now let's gather up our thousands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I have exactly 10. So we'll turn that into 1 10,000. And I have no remaining thousands. And I look and see I have 4 total in the 10,000s place. I don't even have enough to make a group of 10. And I have 1 in the 100,000s place. So my number here is 140,411. And let's see how that makes sense with our actual problem. Let's start in the ones place again. We have 9 plus 2. 9 and 2 more make 11. And I carry the 1. Now let's see how that looks like in our place value chart. I had 9 and 2 more ones, which make 11. Here's my ones place, and here's my group of 10 that I've added over here. There's my additional 1, and here's my 1 in the ones place and my 10 that I regrouped and added, carried over into the tens place. All right, let's take a look at my tens place in our problem. 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. And let's look and see how it looks like in my place value chart. That's exactly what I see. I see a 1 in the tens place, just like I have a 1 in the tens place in my problem. And I have gathered together 10 tens and turned them into 100. And that's what I see here. I've gathered together 10 tens and turned them into 100. Moving over to my hundreds place, I have 1 and 6 and 7. That makes 14. And I carry the 1. And let's look in our place value chart to see if that makes sense. Yes. Here's my 4 in the place value chart, same way here. And I have gathered together 10 hundreds and turned them into 1,000. There it is. And there's my 1,000 that I gathered and carried. And then let's take a look at my thousands place. 1 plus 4 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1. Once again in my place value chart, I see that's true. Here's my 0 in the place in the thousands place, and my 0 in the problem. And I've gathered together 10 thousands to turn into 1 10,000. And there it is. There's my one group of 10 that I've gathered together to make 1 10,000. And then I've counted together over here on the problem. 1 plus 3 is 4. That's exactly what I see in my place value chart. And I guess I better use red here. 1 over here on my problem. And I see 1 in my place value chart. So now using a place value chart seems somewhat magical to help me understand why we sometimes carry numbers from a smaller place value to a larger place value. Now using a place value chart is not very practical. It took us quite a while to do this. So if we're trying to be quick, we want to really try to do this on paper. But the place value chart helps us understand the process. I hope this has helped you. And I'll see you next time on Meaningful Magical Math.